last time we played Dreamfall: The Longest Journey, some pretty hyped stuff happened. We were investigating the apartment building from the first game where April lived. Towards the end of it, a guy that was living in the apartment ambushed us, and like the two twin girls from the beginning of the game put some weird like plant on us. And then we woke up here, and this is the final area from the original Longest Journey, except now in glorious 3D. So let's go.
I want to stay far away from those cracks. I want...
When we popped in here, there was a spooky girl saying that we needed to save April as the protagonist from the first game. This all happened right after we discovered a picture of April. This creepy girl.
Find her. Save her. You must find her. You must save her.
I don't understand. Please. What do you want with me?
Find April Ryan. Hurry, Zoe. Hurry.
But what do...
You must hurry. Go. Now.
It doesn't seem to be helping me find April.
Find April Ryan. Save her.
Presumably she was in that house. I think we saw a cutscene earlier of what April was up to in Arcadia. Yeah, right. This one's super good so far. I kind of wish they had made this just like a few years later on the 360 instead of on the original Xbox. Yeah, every time I've got jet lag that bad, the only way I've been able to get over it is just like try to power through and stay up for 24 hours or longer. It's easier said than done, though. Oh, she's in Arcadia! Cool. The whole game's been in Stark up to this point, other than a cutscene we saw. I guess we opened the game as Brian Westhouse, and that was presumably in Arcadia.
This is not real. This cannot be real. I need to wake up. Or get out
It's
of
real.
here. I need to do something. Anything.
What's this item I just picked up? Pebble.
Smooth and well balanced. Perfect for throwing.
Got it.
It's a strange...
Combat. Combat in this game's not great. It's not a combat game, it's an adventure game. I'll do my best, though. Beat up the orc. How was the first little bit of Outer Worlds you played? Was it good? I saw Metacritic, it was still doing really great. You need to bait out attacks, it looks like. Okay, I can break his guard with that attack, that's helpful. Lots of cool proper nouns, nice. It was very aggressive for them to make this into a fully 3D game after the first one was, you know, traditional point and click, pre-rendered backgrounds. It's aged decently well. They kind of went for a pseudo-stylized look. Has it actually been advertised, if unofficially, that it's basically another New Vegas
If
game?
I'm not mistaken, the water wheel is connected to more gears. It could be what powered the city back when it was inhabited. There's a wooden platform up there.
Cool. And we picked a good stopping point last time. This is totally different from the rest of the game up to this point. It's advertised this from the makers of New Vegas. Good too. That's not too bad, Ron.
I would guess that wheel is used to control the machine.
It didn't work
It's
before.
broken. There's no way to climb up there.
Come on. Look at the other thing.
It looks like a machine with a big wheel and a socket on top. I wonder what it does, and if it still works.
What are you currently working through, Yuko? Back down the stairs. I don't think I can do anything in here just yet. Boat down there. Possibly a thing over this way.
There are massive cogwheels and clockwork mechanisms down there. I think they're connected to the water wheel.
I want those clockwork mechanisms. You're fucking kidding me. Shenmue 3's not out in a few weeks.
What kind of animal is that? An ape? It seems almost human. It feels good in my hand. Smooth and well balanced. Perfect for throwing.
I like how they dropped all of my Stark items when I came here. Longest Journey was also really good about dropping items when they were no longer relevant. I feel like that's an important, element of good adventure game design, that there should be acts in your game where you drop puzzle elements that are no longer
If I'm not
relevant.
mistaken, the water wheel is connected to more gears. It could be what powered the city back when it was inhabited.
There must be something else I can interact with up here. Let's go, there's a skip option. Try using the rock on it, maybe?
I would guess that wheel is used to control the machine. It's definitely mechanical. And old. Who built these things?
Jewels are our future, that's cool.
It's definitely...
Can't use the ladder because it's broken. Don't think I can turn this thing any further. Alright, let me try killing the other orc guy. Maybe he drops something that I need for progress. If that doesn't work, I'll Google it. This game's generally pretty good about not getting you stuck, but... You did drop something. Alright, value. Glowing egg. Hey Cal, how you doing? Set it on the thing, you can do it.
It's definitely mechanical. It's definitely mechanical.
Nice. Can I charge the egg or something, or is it use the egg as a power source to turn the wheel? What does turning that on accomplish? I think I can write up now, maybe? Looks like it. Nice. Nice jump, Zoe.
I think this is the only way to get back down there.
I see.
I sure hope that ladder leads out of this place.
Well, they still do some cinematography in this game, right? Even though it's not fixed camera like the first one. Stops 20 feet from the top. They still have ladders in Arcadia. I'm not sure if I can save my game without... Oh, no, I can't. Okay. Looks like I lost my cell phone. Some crystals around here. Another place I can maybe jump across to. It's the ladder I just came from. Here's some bats or rats or something. Maybe that's a clue of where I should be going. I said this quite a bit during the first Longest Journey game, but this series reminds me a lot of like Labyrinth and Dark Crystal. Those sort of like late 80s or early 90s, technically for kids, but kind of terrifying to kids, but fantastical fantasy movies. Really enjoyed those back in the day. I think I can use the pedal yet, right?
Smooth and well balanced. Perfect for throwing.
Doesn't look like it. That seems like a dead end. Figure out what's making the squeaking sound would help. Is there another pebble here? Okay, I can look down at the water wheel. There was a little thing that popped out from the top. Those little guys down there. Can I look at them? Oh, okay. I don't know if the other side there actually has anything of interest. I wonder if I can bring the egg up here that I used to turn on the water wheel. Now that I have an alternate route. That's fine, Robin. Oh, that sucks, 6 gun. I'm sorry. This is dark down there. Explain why they let you go down at all, right? Okay, the thing's still working even if I take the egg with me. That definitely seems to what we're doing here.
There's no way to climb up there.
You got it. Nice.
It's a long way up, but at least it's going up. That must be a good sign.
What a thrill. Alright, I have high hopes this time. Alright. Yeah, well, hold
Each
it.
of these symbols play a musical note. Maybe I'm supposed to play a sequence of notes, like a melody. But what melody?
I don't know if my left stick is like weird or something, but
Maybe I'm supposed to play a sequence of notes, like a melody. But what melody?
it's 4 total notes. Sounds like. Let's not do
Maybe I'm supposed to play a
Banjo
sequence of notes,
Tooie just
like
yet.
a melody.
And just brute force it. Let's see if we can find if that sequence is somewhere. On the wall somewhere. Makes sense, right? Just 81 combinations. I guess it's actually worse than Banjo-Kazooie, because Banjo-Kazooie at least gave me feedback. I'm gonna try to check all the walls, just hear if I hear something. And we'll just try to listen if the in-game music is a clue, too. It's a good way to tell me don't brute force it. Actually, I feel like that Banjo-Tooie puzzle, I think it giving you a confirmation when you got it right made it likely that players might try to brute force it. This one doesn't give you a confirmation each time you play a correct note, right? I guess puzzle feedback is good. Like we said before, you want to be careful not to let the player limp to the finish line. Nothing with this door. Don't see those symbols anywhere. No, there's a puzzle we just did yesterday in Banjo-Tooie where there are these mermaid statues holding pots. And they have Greek letters on them. And they open a door that's very close to the pots. Right above the door, it has the exact symbols you're supposed to do, the order. But each pot you hit gives you a ding or an error noise, so it's really easy to brute force it. Because before you actually do the puzzle, you don't know that the puzzle is 6 notes long. Like, oh, maybe it's only 3 notes long, and maybe it actually is meant to be brute forced. Alright, I might need to just have to try a few things. I don't see another thing down here that's illuminated with the light that shows me the pattern. I also don't think it's on the water wheel, would be my next guess. Doesn't look right.
If I'm not mistaken, the water wheel is connected to more gears.
I don't think there's necessarily a right way to do it there, because, like I said, feedback is good. Playing the ding when you hit the right thing is good. And it's frustrating if you have a puzzle that's dependent on event flags, right? Where it's like, you need to have seen the front of the door in order to be able to attempt to solve it. I don't think that's good. Let's try doing it based on the images.
This egg is making a mechanical ticking sound.
I'm sure that's a good thing. I think that's a good solution, compromise.
I think it's some kind of clockwork mechanism. Maybe I'm supposed to play a sequence of notes, like a melody. But what melody?
Maybe the light is feedback as to whether I had. Maybe it's like a. This could be a mastermind puzzle, right? Like tells me whether I got one right. They'll just load green though.
Maybe I'm supposed to play a sequence of notes, like a melody. What melody?
Don't think it's mastermind unless if it only tells me like sequences of correct notes, maybe. Let's try. Right, I just wasn't sure if it would give me a different color light or something. This is the one I would have expected. This is you resolving the chord. Could be the opposite of that. I'll try a couple more solutions and I'm going to look it up because I've been everywhere with the egg and I didn't see these symbols anywhere. Wait, that might have been it. It went away that time. No, it doesn't actually select them. That's weird. Alright, I'm gonna Google it real quick. I'm stuck. Dreamfall music codes. Okay, musical notes. Okay, musical notes, you can load. Wow, there's like 20 posts about this on a forum that appears to be dead. Uh-oh. Maybe I can get it on archive.org if I can get it to pull here. At least I'm not alone, people being puzzled by it. Here, there's a Steam community post. Tune plays when you turn the water wheel the first time. There's no hint that the melody will be significant. That's a bummer. Maybe you can turn the water wheel again and then you can hear it again once you know to listen for it. That's unusual. Like, this game's usually pretty good. So is the first one at conveying puzzle solutions. Didn't register my first one. Hold on. 1213. Not quite as bad as the clamp on the duck or whatever. Da, 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 da. Well, the actual, like, orchestral sound sounded pretty different from the notes on the wall. It's a pretty cool effect. Mist. Can't you beat Mist in like 5 minutes if you know where to go right at the beginning?
A wooden wheel. What is this place?
Sorry about the voice. It's a Steam version of this game. Has crackling voice dialogue sometimes. I'm not clear why.
It's locked from the outside.
Or from the outside. I only ever watched Andrew play a little bit of Myst. I haven't ever played that series.
Wheel.
Get all the notes in one sheet. Okay, I took my pebbles away.
It doesn't look very solid.
Nice.
That machine looks brand new. It definitely doesn't fit in with the rest of the stuff down here.
It's a bummer with the audio crackling on the voice acting, because it seems like there's only certain voice lines that are crackling like that.
All this stuff. It's like something out of a fantasy role-playing game. Who stores food like this?
Oh, I think I know where this is, from the original Longest Journey. That's cool.
Apples? Sure looks like apples.
Yeah, now the voice is
I'm
fine.
not taking anything for granted anymore. That beer tap looks
Now
out
it's
of
crackling
place.
and shit.
It's too shiny and modern.
I wish I could figure out how to fix that. There's tons of threads on it and no one's got a solution.
What are you on about, Bryn?
She's standing right next to you.
Hello?
Oh, blessed be the sixth child, you startled me.
You speak English? Oh, thank God. Listen, I'm not
I
sure.
don't know if we commented on that in the original Longest Journey.
Who are you? Where do you come from?
I don't know. I think I'm dreaming. It's just that no matter what I do, I can't seem to wake up.
Dream? This is no dream, child. Do you need me to pinch your arm?
What? No. No, that's... The twins, they did something to me. Something...
How did you get in? We don't open until midday.
Open what?
The inn, child. What do you think? Are you soft-witted, or... By the balance, you're from the other side.
I am from Stark.
Gracious me. Another shifter. Why do they always...
It fits that she's a shifter.
Another what?
You must go see Minstrel Magda immediately. She will explain everything.
Minstrel Magda?
Leave now, but be cautious, and don't speak a word of this to anyone. They have ears everywhere.
Look, I don't know what's going on, and I don't know what a shifter is, or why I'm supposed to see this Magda person, and...
I understand that you are frightened, child.
You don't understand. I have absolutely no idea what's going on. I'm almost starting to think that those stories Charlie told me about April Ryan are
Oh,
true.
name dropping April Ryan.
April Ryan?
Yeah. Do you know her?
No, I don't recognize the name. You need to see Minstrel Magda, child.
I guess I don't have a choice. Dream or no dream. Where can I find her?
She moves around. But Blind Bob ought to know where she is. He's right outside. You can't miss him.
Blind Bob, Minstrel Magda, underground cities and strange
Arm cross
monsters.
animation.
I feel like I'm inside some kind of fairy tale. Alright. I'll go talk to, Blind Bob. Thank you. What's your name?
Benrime Salmon, child. I'm the innkeeper.
It is a Journeyman Inn.
Journeyman Inn. If you ever
Interested to see what the hallway outside's gonna look like. The alley,
I'll do
rather.
the best I can.
I'm Zoe, and thank you. I'm sure I will see you again. You're the only person. I
Pre-rendered
know
backgrounds stick pretty well in my memory.
this place.
Like, even playing through Umbrella Chronicles, it's like, hey, I know these areas. I think last episode we had almost no voice crackling, like just run into any areas where the audio files were glitchy. Hopefully it passes soon. I've tried Googling it before and I don't think there's a way to fix it, other than to play it on the original Xbox. This is the alley. It's snowing now, though. Just in case you weren't sure, we're in Kansas anymore.
Arms for a poor old blind bastard. Arms for a poor old blind bastard with no home, no hearth.
You sound
I'm
fine.
so sorry, I don't have any money.
Ah, well, I'll let you in on a secret, Rose Petal. Blind Bob's happy he don't have no home, no hearth. Had those, hated them, left to begin a career in beggaring. Now a pauper's life is a king's life. Freedom, fresh air, no strings, no stress, no bleeding taxes.
Aren't you cold?
You think? But no. Had a bit of an accident with a fire charm when I was a wee lad. Left me permanently temperate. It's actually quite pleasant.
Nice.
But what about that whole being blind thing? That can't be good.
Yeah, we had finished the original Longest Journey
Theoretical.
about a year ago, Pezza.
Theoretical.
I could have been blind. Had an accident with a chemical spell when I was a wee lad. Near burned me eyes out.
But it didn't.
No, not at all. Missed Blind Bob's face by a mile. Could have burned me eyes out, mind you. Could very well have. So I'm theoretically blind. Of course,
Overrating in this game.
theoretically blind Bob is no proper name for a beggar. So I just use Blind Bob nowadays. That's me, that is.
Okay. Hello. Can I ask you a question?
You can ask. I might answer, I might not.
Fair enough. I'm looking for someone. The innkeeper said you might know. Her name is...
Hold it right there, Rose Petal. Tit for tat. Them's the rules.
What do you mean?
If you want Blind Bob to do you a favour, you do him one first.
It's a quest.
Fair enough. What do you want? Just so you know, I don't have any money.
Well, Rose Petal, you seem to be cosy with old Benrime in there. Ha! Now she makes a robust mulled wine. Just the thing for a cold winter's morning. But Benrime, she don't take well to Blind Bob sitting on her doorstep. And she don't willingly part with her wares without recompense of sorts.
You want mulled wine?
Oh, a bottle would do nicely, Rose Petal. Mind, it's the good stuff now. Made with Mrs. Mullins' mixed spices.
Mulled wine made with Mrs. Mullins' mixed spices. Fine, I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thanks, Petal. You've made a theoretically blind man happy. So cold, so hungry, so blind. Arms!
I'm kind of sad that the creators didn't get to finish this the way they wanted to, but it sounds like the third game, they do get to an ending. It's such a cool setting and great writing on the whole. Alright, now we're going to find out if the audio glitching is like bound to certain areas, like maybe there's too much going on in here. The PC version of the game doesn't know how to deal with it.
Hello?
Yeah, that might be it.
Yes? Oh, it's you. What can I do for you, child?
Why does everyone
How
speak
come
English?
everyone speaks English here?
English? No, child. We speak all tongue. As
They did address that in the first one, I remember now, because when you first got in, they were speaking weirdly, and then
It is the calm
April
tongue.
learned all tongue like almost immediately.
But we're speaking English now, right?
No. Naven is a magical tongue. It is learned quickly by those who know how to listen.
Really? So, what? I can speak a magical language? That's incredible.
Incredible? No. It is quite ordinary, child.
If I said I just finished Longest Journey about a year ago, and we've been playing Dreamfall in little spurts for the last year or so.
I spoke with Blind Bob, but he wouldn't tell me anything.
Ah, yes. Tit for tat. Given a chance to
She
bargain,
knows.
Blind Bob will take it. What does he want now?
Mulled wine. He wants mulled wine made with, Mrs. Something or other spice mix.
Mrs. Mullins mixed spices. For a beggar, Blind Bob is quite particular.
I don't know what to do. If I can't find Minstrel Magda, I can't get home. If I can't get home...
Calm down, child. I will help the best I can. I have red wine and I can heat it up for you, but I'm all out of spices. I was supposed to receive a delivery this morning, but no one has been by yet, and I cannot leave the inn to get them myself.
Maybe I could pick up the spices for you.
You could. I buy my spices from a merchant at the Southgate Market. His is the first.
Just one
store
small
on the left
favor.
when you walk down Ireland Avenue. Just tell him Benrime sent you to pick up her order of Mrs. Mullins mixed spices.
Been trying to Google this audio crackling issue for multiple sessions. I finally found a newish post where someone said try turning out the anti-aliasing settings.
Thank you so much.
So I'm going to try that in a
You're
second.
welcome, child.
We've got subtitles turned on in the meantime.
Wait, how do I get to the market?
Oh, you know, you
Quickest
played The
way
Longest
to get
Journey.
to Old Town, but they've closed it off this morning. You'll have to go the long way around. Walk east towards the tower. When you get to the tower square, go south. That will take you onto Ireland Avenue, which leads all the way down to the south gate.
East, then south. Okay, thank you.
Let me see if I can do this thing. Actually, save. Options. Anti-aliasing. It seems like that would be really weird if that had anything to do with the audio quality.
Hello?
What?
No, it doesn't seem to have affected it.
I should get going.
Have you...
Not yet.
Well,
I think it's because it wants to have hardware sound. It sounds best on a Sound Blaster X-Fi. Like, good luck, right? I don't think I can make a difference. I've tried testing this off stream before, and none of the settings have made a difference. So, just have to hope we get to an area where it's not a problem. But it does seem to be related to certain areas you go to. So, I don't know. Maybe VSync matters? Oh god. I don't know why VSync would fuck up the audio, but who knows, right? Do one more
Hi,
test.
it's me again.
I'm
You're
not
fucking
lying,
kidding me.
child. What do you want?
VSync fixed the audio?
I have so many questions about this place. I don't even know where to start.
Oh my
You
god.
should start with Minstrel Mine.
Okay.
Like I told
Hold
you.
on. I'm gonna pause the clock
I
here.
will.
I need to do my due diligence. If you've ever been a person,
Oh my god.
did you expect?
Oh my god! Although actually it was sort of obvious.
Did you expect VSync to work, Sixgun? If you've ever been Googling an issue before, and you keep getting threads where people say, yeah, I had the issue, and then it went away, and no one's actually giving the response, I need to get on this thread and actually reply and say, this is how I fixed it, so that future person in my position is not going through what we just went through. I keep fucking VSync. That's so dumb. So we'll just sit on here. I'll let her talk a little bit
How do I
more.
get to
I'll
the South Gate
start the
Market
timer again once
Turn
we
left outside the door.
get this post up.
Follow Borough Crook East until you get to the Tower Square.
Yeah,
and
printers
head
are all
south
haunted.
through the main gates. After that, you'll only need to follow Irede Avenue until you reach the South Gate.
Got it. Thanks.
She talked about Alton. Let me see if there's another guy in here. I didn't get a chance to talk to him earlier. Get some dialogue going. Unless if he left the room.
Apples? Sure looks like apples. But I'm not taking anything for granted. It's locked.
This is like episode 4 of
Unlike
this
most
game,
things in
too.
this place, that fireplace feels comfortably familiar.
We've been trying to fix it every time, and I was like, that's not a setting that should ever matter. But this new post on the Steam forums, it's like, try turning the anti-alias settings on. What? He bailed after I said April Ryan. Okay.
Don't mind
Makes
me, good
sense.
sir, madam. I'm just a poor old blind bastard with nowhere to go and nothing to eat.
Okay, I posted my comment so future sufferer can know what's going on. Start the timer again.
I like to come here in the mornings to admire the tower. Isn't it amazing? And to think a decade ago there was only a decrepit temple here.
They did a great job of adapting the fixed camera to the modern game, but they've also changed it up by having it snowing, right? So it's not just 1-to-1. Did that too with everything in Venice.
They say there are new recruits on the way. I'll be glad to see some fresh blood around here. If I'm lucky, I might get transferred somewhere warmer soon.
Only Trueborn are allowed inside without an escort, citizen. You'll need the proper paperwork if you seek an appointment.
That was where I met the priest guy in the original game. That's where I learned Altung. I'm trying to remember. It's been a really long time since we beat The Longest Journey. I think it was like, I think that guy got killed at some point? Maybe? The end of that game felt like a bit of a blur, like they kind of had to wrap up, you know?
I keep seeing these machines everywhere, but I still don't know what they're used for.
Maybe Wizard of Oz. It's like the Wizard of Oz meets the Labyrinth. Is the creator again? Ragnar Tornquist?
Hello, hello. Ha, what a wonderful morning we're having. How may I be of service today, young lady?
The innkeeper at the Journeyman sent me to pick up an order of Mrs. Mullin's mixed spices. It's for...
Mulled wine. Yes. Oh, Benrime boils the best cauldron in town, she does. Absolutely wonderful. I'll have them sent right up. Fantastic. Next.
Hold on. Benrime needs the spices right now. You could just give them to me and I'll deliver them for you.
Why, yes. Yes, I could give the spices to you. What a wonderful idea. Saves me from having to deliver them, doesn't it? Fantastic. No problem. None at all. Except...
Except what?
There's a tiny problem. Nothing major, nothing that can't be solved. Why, it's barely worth mentioning. You see, the thing is, I don't actually have any spices at all this morning.
I see.
It's a tiny problem.
Isn't this the spice store? Benrime told me to go to the spice store.
Well, then you've certainly come to the right place. I sell spices and little else. In fact, I'm the exclusive distributor of Mrs. Mullin's.
Oh
Best
my
spice
god.
mixers in the Northlands.
Oh my
or
god!
any
Although
lands.
actually it was sort
It's
of
just
obvious.
That, well, my delivery is a tiny
That he
delayed
wouldn't have
this week.
them.
Really? How delayed?
Oh, I'm sure it'll be here any... quite a bit, to be honest with you. Quite a bit.
I really need those spices. Can't I get them anywhere else?
Where there's a will, or, you know, a spell, there's always a way. Except in this case. This is the only store that carries Mrs. Mellon's mixed spices in Marcuria, I'm afraid.
I really do need those spices. Like, now.
I wish I could be of more help, young lady, but as long as the ghetto's closed, the carriages are stuck in Burrow Crook.
The ghetto?
Oh, you're an out-of-towner. Welcome to Marcuria, etc., etc. Wonderful, wonderful.
Good time to have a detour in the new
what
area.
about the ghetto?
Right. Well, the Azadi have set aside a section of Old Town for the Magicals. That way they can be with their own. We don't bother them, they don't bother us. Fantastic. Wonderful.
Why can't the carriages come through?
Well, once in a while, the Azadi help the Magicals weed out undesirables. They close the ghetto down, search the buildings for criminals and contraband, sort of spring cleaning, if you will.
And your supplier is stuck in, what, traffic?
On the other side of the ghetto, up Burrow Crook, towards Coldstone Gate. Why, right below the Journeyman.
I just came from there.
Right. So you... Wait. Why don't we help each other out, eh? If you pick up my delivery of Mrs. Mellon's mixed spices, our specialty, and bring them back here, I can give you Benrime's order.
I guess it beats waiting around.
Fantastic! You'll want to speak with Harry Kinran. He's a bearded fellow, a tad ornery, but a decent fellow at heart. He'll be up Burrow Crook, right below the Journeyman Inn. You can't miss him.
Perfect.
Ask him for Mrs. Mellon's mixed spices. He'll try and get some money from you, but the order's been paid for already.
Guy with a beard, wagons, Burrow Crook. Okay, I'll try my best.
Come right back here with the spices, and I'll give you Benrime's order. Wonderful. Fantastic.
Commented on this during the longest journey, but like the voice acting in that game, what was it, 97? 98 maybe? Definitely some of the best I had heard from that era. Like, I guess there's a couple adventure games, like the LucasArts adventure games tended to spend some money on voice acting. But do you think if they're like contemporaries, generally weren't so great? Like, we don't need to invest in this.
Outside the ghetto, selling medicine to the Magicals.
You know what that is, don't you? Treason.
Treason against the Empire, and Sadir that have your head off.
In a second. Any humans who get involved with the Magicals are traitors to their race.
That might not warrant an appointment with the Blade here in this goddessless city, but we'll find a way to get you shipped off to Sadir. Move it!
The controls of this game and like the way the cutscenes are laid out reminds me a lot of Knights of the Republic, which makes sense if it was originally a OG Xbox game.
Make a donation to the welfare of old blind Bob, and you'll
Working
receive
on
a
it, dude.
reward in the afterlife for your choice.
Guy with a beard. This must be him. Cool. Those things were always rendered in 3D, not in the pre-rendered background, so I wasn't really ever sure what they were supposed to look like in the first
traffic
game.
appears to be backed up. No one's getting through.
May the six grant me strength. As if this morning hasn't been trying enough. And what do you want, girl?
I...
On second thought, don't tell me.
Is Arcadia just the UK?
Chatter.
But I...
Magicals? Damned ghetto rats. And those rebels? More like terrorists, if you ask me. Not a day goes by without them troublemakers making trouble for the rest of us. They should stick them on a boat and send them out to sea, so as they don't bother honest humans trying to make an honest living. Call themselves freedom fighters, the terrorists do. but it's because of them that I'm stuck here. Again! Freedom? Freedom for who? From what? It's not like the Azadi are keeping us imprisoned. In fact, life's a damn sight better than it was before they came. If this is oppression, I don't want to be liberated.
Listen,
Ye gods, I mean goddess. There's only one. Blessed be her name, etc.
You are so annoying.
I think that's different
Listen
from
to
the
me.
first game.
I just spoke with the spice merchant at the Southgate
I
Market.
don't remember what the mythology was. I think these
You'll have to
soldiers being
wait
here is
until they
new.
reopen the ghetto, just like everyone else.
Well, he sent me to pick up a delivery of, Mrs. Mullen's mixed spices.
What? No, that's, alright. It's irregular, but I reckon I can part with it for a fair price.
He said it's been paid for already, and that you'd probably try to weasel more money out of me.
For the love of... I'll just tell him we'll sort it out when I get down there. Mind you, it could take a while. Doesn't look like they're reopening the ghetto anytime soon.
I'm sorry, but he said he needs the spices right away. He's out of stock.
I keep hearing this buzzing sound in my ear, but I don't see any black flies around. Only you.
You can ignore me all you want, but I'm not leaving. If you think you're having a bad day, you should try mine on for size.
She's kind of rolling with this.
By
I guess so did
the
April.
child. I mean, by the grace of the six blessed be their names. If you'll leave me be, I'll give you the bloody spices. And now, for the love of the goddess and for the sake of my sanity, let me be miserable in peace.
They're doing a great job of
Absolutely.
conveying details
bother
about
you
what's
again.
going on in
Thank
Arcadia
you.
with these cutscenes. Like, yes, this is a fetch quest, but I've learned new information at every step of the fetch quest, right? I know that these, like, Imperials are here, that they're imposing their religion on
Don't mind
everybody.
me, good sir, madam. I'm just a poor old...
Talking to Blind Bob introduced me to, okay, there's magic here, in case I didn't play the original Longest Journey. Going back in and talking to the innkeeper brought up why they're speaking English, like... And it's all serving a gameplay purpose, and, like, the conversations are fun and funny, too. But this is what we mean when we're talking about, like, dialogue precision in games. That you can have lots of world building and lots of lore and lots of dialogue, but every line of dialogue is serving some purpose. Yo, I got your crap.
You're back. How wonderful it is to see you again so soon.
Have a nice day.
Why, thank you. And you have an even nicer one, young lady.
Hey, I got you spices.
That's wonderful. Fantastic. What spices?
Oh, for crying out. You asked me to pick up your spices, remember?
Yes, yes. Ah, yes, I remember. Mrs. Mullen's spices. Oh, goodness me. Thank you, young lady. How indescribably wonderful.
You're welcome. Now, about Benrime's order?
Who? Benrime. Oh, yes. 1 pouch of Mrs. Mullen's mixed spices for the
He's gonna give you the
best
pouch
mulled
right
wine in
back.
Marcuria.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Enjoy your day, young lady, and do come back.
Okay, no, I think it is a slightly smaller pack.
Mrs. Mullen's mixed spices.
It would be funny if you could just skip him and take the spices straight to Benrime. I do think the Neil Gaiman rule is a useful one. It stuck with me when I was reading that thread. He's like, your dialogue should either move the story forward or establish something about the setting, establish something about a character, or develop their character arc, or be funny. And if possible, you should try to do all three.
Don't
But
mind
one of the
me,
three
good
is
sir,
fine.
madam. I'm just a poor old blind bastard with nowhere to go.
Hello?
Yes? Oh, it's you. What can I do for you, child?
It wasn't easy, but I got the spices.
It took you long enough, child. Did you get lost?
No, but I had to do a lot of running around. It doesn't matter. I have the spices now.
Good. There's a pot of red wine in the kitchen. Mix the spices in, let it boil for a while, and you have mulled wine.
Thank you so much. I appreciate all your help.
Well, you look like you need all the help I can give you, child.
It's kind of a back. Okay.
There's red wine boiling in that cauldron.
Come on. There you go.
I've added Mrs. Mullins's mixed spices to the wine. That should be it then. Mulled wine.
It's an empty bottle. Okay, there's a tap. I'm like, how is she gonna fill it? That makes sense.
Don't mind me, good sir, madam. I'm just a poor old
Here.
blind bastard with
Mulled
nowhere to
wine
go and
made with
nothing to
Mrs.
eat.
Mullins's mixed spices.
Ah, the sweet Santa Mrs. Mullins and Riverwood Red. Give it here, Pattle. Let me take a swig.
Theoretically blind Bob.
Ah, by the balance, that hit the spot it did. Ah, I'm most grateful, Petal. You've earned yourself a silver star in Blind Bob's book.
Glad you liked it. It wasn't easy getting it.
Without the journey, the reward isn't half as sweet. That's, what's her name? Old Chestnut round these parts. Still as true as the sky is green.
Green?
Had an accident with a chroma charm when I was a wee lad. Every morning Blind Bob wakes up, the sky's a different colour. Today it's green.
Hi there.
Alms for a poor... Oh, ha! It's ye. What tidings of joy do you bring me this time?
Do you know where I can find Minstrom Magda?
Oh, he knows her, Blind Bob does. He knows her well. Nice lady. Best sort nut soup south of Lame Bastard Hill.
Do you know where she is today?
Oh, she moves around, Magda does. Ain't seen her round here in a while. You might try asking someone other than Blind Bob.
Like who? I don't know anyone in the city.
Well, you might have more luck asking crazy Clara. Lives up Crab Bend, Clara
Crab
does,
Bend.
on Hangman's Span, in view of Friar's Keep. Crazy
Great
as a
proper
turnip,
nouns.
Clara is. But she's also got a scout wing's eyes. She knows more than she lets on.
Thank you, Mr. Bob.
Oh, just call me theoretically. We're friends now, ye and I. Make a donation to the welfare.
Presumably it's off in this
Bob,
direction
and you'll
for all
receive
this
your
side
reward
questing.
in the afterlife of your choice.
They must have just installed these
Yeah, these are all new.
They look brand new, and they definitely don't fit into the whole medieval look of this place.
No, I wonder if that's like... So there is like a... Not quite apocalyptic, but there was something bad that happened as a result of the end of The Longest Journey that had negative effects on Stark. So maybe this is Stark having negative effects on Arcadia. The whole idea is that, like, at the creation of the world, or at one point, Stark and Arcadia were one world, and then they split into a world of science and logic and a world of magic.
What in the name of the Mojal do you want? I mean the six. I don't worship no Mojal. Never heard of the bugger.
I thought I'd stop by to say hello.
Keep walking. Just keep walking.
The traffic appears to be backed up. No one's getting through. The tunnel's closed. Excuse me, what's through this gate?
It's closed. Step back.
I haven't stepped forward.
You're in violation of a Zadi martial law regarding loitering. Move along.
Okay, fine. I won't loiter.
Yeah, I appreciate that the game skips that stuff. That's the sort of thing that drives me batty. Like, playing a game and a character does something that annoys the protagonist and they, like, bitch them out for 5 minutes. It's like, it's fine. He doesn't have the information for me. He wants to go to another NPC. She can roll her eyes and we can move on. We don't need to, like, drag it out. Yukipo, you missed us fixing the voice crackling issue in this game that's been plaguing it for the last 4 episodes. It turned out we needed to turn on VSync, which is the dumbest fucking... And I paused the clock for a second to go on the Steam thread about it and tell everyone how to fix it, because no one had found the solution. So stupid. Alright, future Marstead. We got about 1:30 left in the episode. I'm going to try to move in the direction I think we're going. First of all, when you boot up the game, make 100% sure that VSync is still turned on in the video settings. That fixes the crackling issue for some reason. Then, you've just talked to Blind Bob. You're in Arcadia now. You're trying to find information about Minstrom Magda. People here, you've mentioned April's name once, and they kind of freaked out when you did. So I'm sure something's going to come of that soon. But this guy, Blind Bob, told you to go talk to Crazy Clara, and this whole area that you're in right now, you haven't really explored other than talking to the spice merchant up and to the left. So maybe walk around here, talk to more people, go in whatever buildings let you inside, and see what progress you can make. That's time for today for Dreamfall. Untitled Goose Game is next. Give me a few minutes to switch to it.